In this market, it's imperative that my buyers are writing competitive offers, but that doesn't always mean writing higher offers than the other offers on the table. Sometimes a seller just wants to close quickly because the house is vacant, or maybe they're looking to move out of the area to be closer to a loved one faster, or to start a new job out of the area, and having a quick closing is really important. Or it's possible that the seller just wants to buy a replacement home, and having a quick closing on the sale of their house makes them more competitive to buy their replacement property. And so working with Supreme Lending has been great because their timeline to get a deal closed is so much faster, and I don't have to have my client write offers that are necessarily higher than the other offers that might be on the table, while still giving my buyers an opportunity to win. I also represent sellers often, and when I see Supreme Lending is the lender on the other side of the transaction, I can honestly tell my client that the likelihood of the deal closing faster with less complications is much higher by going with that offer where Supreme Lending is the lender, and that makes a huge difference in the process. 9 times out of 10, when I have a seller that is accepting an offer from a buyer where the lender is unknown, there are some complications or issues that eventually will come up, and that just adds to the complexity of the transaction. Honestly, it would be so much easier if most, if not all, transactions had Supreme Lending as the lender. When I have a borrower that's a little more complicated or needs certain loan programs, Supreme Lending is definitely where I send them, because I know if they tell me the deal can get done, I know it can get done. I recently had 2 somewhat complicated situations with clients. One of them got under contract before Christmas and closed after New Year's. It only took 16 days to get it cleared to close, and that's with 2 holidays in between. That's really impressive. I had another client that was really complex. He was an FHA buyer, needed CHFA down payment assistance, and needed seller concessions to cover closing costs, and Supreme Lending had a clear to close within 22 days. I know that working with Supreme Lending in the first place is what was able to get that buyer under contract. It really makes a huge difference. When I'm working with a seller and the buyer's lender is starting to mess up a little bit, or the deal can't get done, I know the first place I'm going to send that buyer to is going to be Supreme Lending to save the day. I know that I can trust if they say we're good to go and it's going to close, that it's going to close. And I also know that it's going to close quickly, which really saves the day for my client, makes them happy, makes me happy as the agent, makes the buyer's agent happy as well, because it keeps their client under contract and getting to the closing table. It makes all the difference in the world.